Have you noticed your grocery cart looking a little different lately, or maybe you find yourself skipping the store altogether just to grab something on the go? You aren't the only one. Behind the scenes, a quiet revolution is completely reshaping the European supermarket scene. Between a generation that's ditching the kitchen, the unstoppable rise of the store brand, and a fierce battle for survival among retail giants, the traditional grocery store as we know it might actually be facing extinction. Here is a look at what is really happening in the aisles. European grocery retail is shaking things up after the crazy inflation spikes in the early 2020s. From 2024 to 2026, things are settling down a bit, but the environment remains super competitive and tight economically. Food prices have calmed down, hovering just under the 2.4% sales growth mark, but everyone's wallets are noticeably thinner. This financial pinch has totally changed how people shop, forcing retailers to play defense. As a result of this shifting behavior, actual grocery sales volume in Europe is basically flat, growing at only 0.2% a year, and that's the way it's expected to stay until 2030. Why the stagnation? Slight population growth and a shift to modern supermarkets are barely keeping up with a steady 0.3% loss as people simply eat out more. This no-cooking trend is accelerating fast, especially with Gen Z. In fact, 77% of them grab food on the go monthly, helping the food service industry expand 1.6 times faster than traditional grocery stores. With fewer items going into carts, grocers are getting squeezed hard on margins. Average European EBITDA margins are down from 6.9% in 2019 to 6.2% now, with EBIT margins hitting a low 2.8%. To cope, budget-focused shoppers are making a major and likely permanent switch to private label products. Store brands already account for 39.1% of the market and are expected to hit 40–42% by 2030. People love these private labels now. 84% say they'll stick with them even when they have more money. Smart retailers are leaning into this by making their store brands more like cool premium private brands, grabbing even more market share. But price isn't the only thing changing. What is actually on the shelves has to evolve too. Grocers are completely reworking their product lineups to meet the demanding tastes of younger shoppers. Gen Z, for example, shows a massive 45% net intent to focus on healthy, functional, and minimally processed, clean foods, with many willing to pay a premium for it. Despite this demand, a glaring gap remains. Only 35% of consumers are satisfied with the healthy options at their primary grocery store. For retailers, fixing this gap is a massive opportunity to stand out. Delivering on all these specific, localized consumer demands creates a massive paradox for the industry. To offer that hyper-local, customized feel, retailers actually need to rely on increasingly massive, pan-European corporate structures. As inflation gives way to permanent margin squeezes and flat sales, survival comes down to ruthless scale and operational efficiency. Being huge isn't just a bonus anymore, it's a must-have for survival. Whether they grow bigger by expanding geographically, buying up other massive companies' M&A, or teaming up in big European alliances, grocery chains need that sheer size to boss around global suppliers on pricing. They also need those deep pockets to afford the constant huge spending on tech and automated warehouses. They also need that scale to fend off the discounters. Giants like Lidl and Aldi are still shaking things up with their unbeatable business models. Their store brand products aren't just seen as the cheap option anymore. They're becoming high-quality private brands that shield them from the crazy price swings of traditional name-brand goods. Meanwhile, the digital side of the business is maturing. Online grocery shopping has moved past the whole deliveries are cool phase and is now all about super efficient operations, automated order fulfillment, and selling ads on their own platforms. Retail media networks are the main ways digital grocers will actually make serious money going forward. So, what does this all mean for the future? Over the next decade, the European grocery market is going to split into two main extremes: super efficient, tech-savvy discount giants on one end, and small, specialized neighborhood stores on the other. That leaves the plain, middle-of-the-road supermarket chain stuck directly in the middle, highly likely to either disappear completely or get bought out.